This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the Earshot Digital Distribution Music System. We're doing a broadcast account update. Earshot Digital Distribution System is a platform that was developed starting in 2017 by myself and a couple others. I'm Barry Rook. I'm the Executive Director for the National Campus and Community Radio Association. The association helps 121 nonprofit radio stations. And we decided about a couple of years ago that there needed to be a path for which radio stations could receive content from artists in a digital format, because many stations were sort of saying, well, we have all these digital content coming to us, but there's no format or structure or theme or anything of that nature. And being a nightclub DJ who was on a bunch of music distribution pools, I felt like this was a pretty easy solution because I was getting dozens of submissions on a daily basis for the content that I was putting out. So we essentially approached Factor and a couple other funding bodies, Community Radio Fund of Canada, Creative BC, SOCAN, and we've been able to put together this system over that last period of time. The update that we're going to have here looks at two things. One, how as a broadcaster can you find music, radio shows, and public service announcements, and how as a broadcaster can you upload music or spoken word shows and public service announcements. This is not for the music industry uploading music to the system. You can find that learning opportunity at earshot-distro.ca. I'll start by sharing my screen and we'll go right into Earshot Distro. So the landing website is earshot-distro.ca. If you're on the page here, you can find out more about the system and the costs, our report on distribution of music, which stations are using the system, our referral programs, all these different types of things, including our training and support. If you're logged in, you'll see that there's a help button as well. That help button will take you automatically back to these pages. So if you're logged in, you can find that too. You also have the opportunity, if you are not a member yet or not one of these radio stations that has an account, you can sign up by using the sign up button. This list of stations, there's about 90 stations or so, all have their own account. So these stations, if you're a host and you have a home account or a home station, they should be able to give you access to Earshot Distro, to listen to content, to download music, to upload radio shows. If they don't, reach back out to us at the NCRA, we'll do our best to be able to help out. Simply go to the sign up page. If you don't see your radio station on this list here, and sign up as an independent programmer or one of these groups, you'll fill out a form. Eloisa will get that information and process you in a pretty quick period of time. Once you are created, you will get an account. Your account will simply go to the sign in page, and when you log in, you will land on a dashboard. So this is your ultimate dashboard for access to see all of the different things that the program can do for you. I'll start off by taking a look on the right-hand side under the name of the account will be with the headphones. You can change information about your account. So your email, the name of the account, passwords. It can give you access to what types of content you can upload and download. This allows a radio station to control who can use the system and at what function and format. They're automatically checked so people can reach out directly to you, but you can go ahead and do that as well. Oops, I'm not going to worry about updating that because it's not important at this time. If you are a radio station that has your administration abilities, you have the option to set the information on the overall account of the broadcasting account with your station ID and any description and a logo. And you also have the ability to go ahead and put add people as different roles. So if I click the invite button and simply put in a name, an email, and select what type of user they are, you can then invite them, it'll go to their inbox, possibly their spam. So just double check there with a link of how they can access their account. If you list that person as a staff, they can invite others. If you list them as a programmer or volunteer, they cannot invite others. And you simply identify how much and what access points that they want to receive. Hopefully that's pretty straightforward. And again, if we miss anything of this, you're going to be able to find it under this help button at the top of the page, where all the additional information, including a copy of this recording and our handbook, is available. You can also change English to French. Note that if you switch to French, the names of the songs and the artists and so on will not translate to French. Only the titles and the identifiers will do so. So the word name will change to nom, but it will still be listed in English if it was written in English. Just want to be aware of that. When we land on the first page, this is where our dashboard is. It's also easily accessible by clicking the Earshot Distro logo. When you're on your dashboard, you'll notice a few things that you have the option to do. Right off the top here is a search button, which you can type in any information. If you wish to get directly to the library search, you can click the search button blank or push the search library button on the top left-hand side. You'll note that there are saved searches for you to be able to quickly find right on your dashboard. There are folders that you're able to access and put songs in. So if you are sorting songs and you have a theme, you can drop song names into folders and go back and so on. Down here at the bottom, you have options to review songs later. You'll see how you'd be able to select them. Quick way to be able to say, oh, I didn't have time to listen to that one. I want to come back to it. They will also tell you about your programs. If you have the ability to upload any programs, it'll tell you the name of the program that you have, any interactions that you've had, and what are those stations, the total number of shows, and you can see the details on this. I'll come back to this later on in the training. Same thing applies with a campaign. You have the ability, if you're releasing a public service announcement campaign, you can go ahead and set that up and see all the interactions and so on. So I'm going to simply go to start our search by clicking on the search library button. It's going to open up your main search results. These search results are the search results for the entire library as is. No filters or anything. They come up with what was the most recently released song into the system. So we can see that there's a total of just over 19,000 songs available and shows available in the library right now. Pretty Little Sunflower by Cozy Fruits is a release. It's Canadian. It's got the CanCon logo here and it's MAPL compliant. It tells you your genre. And if I want to, I could download the entire release right here. In this case, because it's got a 1, it means that it's a simple single one song. If I do the drop down, I can see more information. There's the song, the information. If I want to, I can hit play and I can scroll through and have a chance to listen to the song as a preview moment. If there's a rating, you can rate the song right here. You can add it to a folder for you to go back and look at. You can read any reviews if they're made. If there's a problem with the song, you can report it. And again, it will tell you right here on the side what genres it is, genre, subgenre, hypergenre, any text. And there's some more information as well for the themes and so on. If I want to go see the song as a whole, I can click on the song title and it will bring me to another page filled with all sorts of information. You're seeing similar things again, rating options, adding to reviews, review later, etc. If you wish to download the song, you simply click the download and select which format you'd like, and this will download the song one by one. If you wish to identify that you are supporting that song and you plan to play it on the air, you can change the button from not supported to supported. You can even copy the track listing info, which matches the requirements for your CRTC logs. It'll identify on the top if you've listened to the song or not already. and it has all the different information that's been uploaded. So in this case, we can see if it's related to another artist, when the release date was. So you could promote that information, the beats per minute, what CRTC category is it, instrumental, all those types of things. All songs are broadcast friendly automatically. And then if there's other licenses, we'll go into that later on. And then the information around the MAPL compliance requirements. If you scroll down, you'll learn more about the lyrics for the song, the artist information. Again, you can listen to the song, see the waveform. If you want to, you can reach out and contact the distributor to request an interview or anything of that nature. And as you get to the bottom of the page, if you want, you can add a comment, post a review. That's the simple process of finding a song and downloading it on Earshot Distro from the basic song search page. As noted, for example, Andrea Ann, if I click lower, we can see that her album has 11 songs, and there's all the different 11 songs with some items that tell you a little bit more about the songs themselves. So again, this opens up and releases the information chronological order when it's updated. However, if you want to search in different formats, this is where your advanced search filter comes into place. Very helpful for you to be able to change the release date. So any information, if you wanted to say in the last 30 days, when you get to the genre here, what you have is the option for songs, the option for shows, and the option for PSAs. Each of these drop-down menus has additional alternative items. So if I click songs, alternative, industrial dance, and I only want to search for industrial dance that has come out in the last 30 days, I would simply select that toggle and hit search at the very bottom of the form here. However, let's say I'm looking for all alternative, it will cover everything that's underneath in alternative. And if I said shows, I'm also looking for, say, all of the shows that are available. I can now search all alternative music and all shows at the same time. So they're stackable in their own ways. It often works out as a great way to be able to say, if you're only looking for, say, folk music and folk shows, I can go to folk and scroll down. And when I hit the search button, you'll see my 1900 and whatever number, it goes down to 90 findings, and that's 90 findings within the last 30 days. And you're able to then see the songs as they go along in that sense. Dinah, did you have a quick question?
Yeah, just wondering when the actual radio shows are going to be searchable, because I can't find anything.
That's why we're doing the training here, and we'll come back to that very shortly. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No problem. So you'll see that there's a whole bunch of options here. If you want to limit songs that you have or haven't listened to, you can pick cities if you're trying to focus cities, ratings, clean context, instrumental, artist characteristics. So these are great if you're looking for specifics of, say, FemCon, for example, are groups that are women-led or of all women, and they self-identify as that. And then you can go ahead and find those unique characteristics people. If you click FemCon, and I've still got my genres selected as folk music, it'll further reduce this number from 90 down to only those folk songs that are led by women or are all women. So it is, again, like I said, stackable in its own way and format. If I was to say, for example, wanting to look only for shows, I would simply select the shows option. And when I do a search, all the shows that are in the system should line up. Oops. I have my dates scheduled here, and I think I still have some songs listed as folk. There we go. So if I change that, I should be able to find any of the shows that are listed there. And there are no shows that are uploaded that come up at that time because we haven't released that process. So that goes back to Dinah's question. When are the shows going to show up? When we're done this training, we're going to start having you upload those shows. And that's what we're going to go through in that search process to find those shows very shortly. So that is the basics of finding content on Earshot Distro. Does anybody have any questions specifically on the finding of content on Earshot Distro? Not hearing any. If you were to, Dinah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just wondering if there's going to be a quick quick tip guide or how-to manual that will be sent out to all the EDDS users.
Yes,
Just
we
so
have.
a quick reference thing, so we're not bombarding you with silly emails saying, "Ah, how do I do this?"
So we have this recording as one way to be able to do it. We've also created a broadcast user guide, which I think you can sort of see here, and it's being updated, and it has a whole detail of every single thing that we've gone through. So there's the search system, and it tells you about the search bar, the song details, the genres, the shows, the characteristics, the licensing, the tagging. It's all here in one document for you to refer back to. So hopefully that will alleviate any of those search challenges that people have been running into. Just as a reminder, if you click on the folders button at the top, it'll take you to any songs that you've put into folders to review later. If you are using messaging as a radio station, you have the ability to initiate contact with someone who's uploaded content, and you can ask for discussions. So you can see there's a discussion here around from Logan Wood from 2020 around having a clean version of it back and forth. I think at this case, I reached out and said, hey, do you have an edited version that's good for radio that doesn't have swearing? And they chatted back and forth and ultimately uploaded a clean version for radio airplay. As I mentioned, the help button will take you automatically to the help page that we had showed you earlier where that manual will be. The other things that are new on the top here that have just been added are the programs and the PSAs. If I click the programs button, it offers me three options of things. You got a host, programs, and shows. Simply put, you have to have a host, you have to have a program, and you have to have a show in order to be able to have something uploaded for music distribution. So if I click on hosts, I can see at this time we have two hosts that are logged in under the NCRA account. I could simply add a host and fill out information here on this page, creating that host. So a name, an alias, a biography, you can upload a photo, you can select the town that the individual is based out of and the province. Note that if you select Canada-wide, you cannot select a town or a city. The reason we have Canada-wide is because sometimes there are groups that are broadcasting in multiple places. So we just simply say Canada. If you put your town or your city or your province in here, it is not restricting you from reaching other people. What it is, though, is it's making it so that if other people are looking for you because they only want hosts that come from Ontario for some reason, then you'd be able to find those hosts that come from Ontario in the search functionality. I'm not going to create a host because we already have a host, and that's myself. If I click on programs, you only have to create a host once. You only have to create a program once. When you create a program and a host, they attach to each other, and you simply add in shows later on. So I created one called the Cider Crate. And if I wanted to, I click the little edit button. This is the exact same process that you would see if I was creating a new show. So I've made a title, I've selected my host name from the drop down, I've uploaded cover art, I've selected my genres. You only have to select for the radio show your top level genre. So this one's science and culture. My location, Ottawa, Ontario, when the first release is available. And then you've got public release day, which is when it becomes available on our system. So the release date is the date that you can find it on Earshot Distro. The public date is the date that should be the first time that that show is played on the air. So if you're uploading a show for today and you don't want it played until Friday, release date would be today for the system release date, and the public release date, you would click for Friday. And what that will do is that will tell people when they're downloading, okay, this is when the normal schedule of releases go out. If you decide you want to upload now and put the release date for tomorrow, when you process the show, you'll see that it won't show up in searchable functions until 12:01 tomorrow. And I believe that's Eastern time. The recording date is, again, just reference for the date that you made it. If you wish to put in a description about your program, here's where you can put in a description, link, etc. So I've got a show, I've got a song, I've got a host, I've got a program, and now I want to add a show. So if I click shows, it's gonna show me the different ones here. When I click upload show, you're gonna simply go select your artist, your host name, you're gonna select the show name, and you'll see that it's gonna now ask you for a WAV, an MP3, or FLAC file. You can click, drag and drop, or if you go into your downloads, you can pick the song that you wanna upload. If you have multiple files, say it's in 2 or 3 parts, that's completely fine. You can upload those parts all at once. We do ask that you do 320 WAV. Anything lower, you lose some quality to it, or 320 MP3. If you can do a waveform, you can do a waveform. That's great. It'll obviously take longer. It's a bigger file, but it's better quality opportunities for those who are downloading. When that show is uploaded, it now takes you to your shows folder on buttons. And you can see on this upload here, you have searchable shows that are already in the system and incomplete shows. I need to finish completing this upload by editing the file. So I'm going to change the title to say Drink Collab Interview. The system release date, I'm going to keep those as previous. If I want to add track listings, interview, I can add tags if I want to. So this one's going to be in English. And once this is all done, I'm simply going to push the save button. And what you'll see is it moves from the incomplete show into the searchable live shows. And it will pop up here in just a few minutes, because what's happening now in the background is the system is programming and preparing it into the database so that it generates an RSS feed and so on, and it becomes searchable in just a few minutes. So depending on how long the show is that you've uploaded, this may take a minute or 2, this may take 10 minutes or so. Really depends on that process. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to track how it's doing, but it'll show up in just a few minutes. Megan, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was a file size limit of like how long the file can be or how big the file can be.
We have had people upload 2-hour shows in WAV format in the past, and it's worked. I believe almost all file limits are at like the 1 gigabyte limit. I think we might have a 300 or 400 megabyte upload maximum. I can't recall off the top of our head. I'd have to do some experimentation with that. But I know we have seen hour-long WAV shows get put up. I don't know if you've seen a 2-hour-long one, because that will be pushing it quite close to that gig mark.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'm just going to quickly refresh my page, and there is Drink Collab Interview, my duration, the information, etc. And I can go back and host. If it's here in the live searchable shows, that means it's live. So if I click back on the search library option, I'm going to hopefully see it pop up as one of the very first searches. Seeing it. It might also not pop up because I think I maybe set the release date from a couple of weeks ago, so it may have found itself further back into the system. So if I go back to shows and search all shows, let's see if it shows up here. There we go. So there's the cider crate by myself. I click the drop down option. There's show number 1. There's show number 2. When I click the information, I can see that basic information, interview with, bio, etc. So it's all uploaded and available. And as you could probably see on that search, as of right now, there's only a couple of shows that have been put up. I can see Lauren Van St. Clair has put something up just of the last little while from Canoe FM. And there's information about the track listing from the shows and so on available for you. If you want to, there's the information on the host at Canoe FM. And you as a radio station who is downloading content can reach out and contact and offer to put Lauren's show on your syndication list. And again, vice versa. If you're uploading shows, this is what your outline will look like when it's fully processed, and artists or stations will be able to pick them up. The other thing that I will notice here is there's a RSS feed button right beside the number of shows. This only shows up on the programs search page like this for a radio show. If you copy that RSS and drop it into your computer program, your playback program, it should automatically capture any new uploaded shows, meaning you do not need to come back in and re-find a show every week to download it. If it's set up to automatic capture, whenever that show becomes available and the RSS feed is updated because a new show edition has been released, it'll automatically capture it in your software program. So hopefully that solves a little bit of work and challenges and so on. And that's why we recommend as a host that you sort of select a regular time in which you're uploading content to the system, or when you're putting it live under the system release date. So, if you need to upload 5 shows in your way, you could simply schedule those 5 shows to come out every Tuesday, and then they'll be available, I believe, again, 12:01 Eastern time on Tuesday mornings for people to be able to download. So that's the upload process and to be able to find that type of content. Now, my last part that I said I would get back to was, well, how do I know if someone has downloaded my show that I've put up? If you go back to your dashboard, there's this button marked programs, and you can see there's an interactions button. So if I click on the cider crate, I can see that CFRU had a listen to the show on the 24th, Cove FM had a listen to the show on the 23rd, and CHES had a listen to the show on the 20th. It shows 3 listens with no downloads. So that means that the radio stations decided not to pick up my show. If it had a download beside it, that would be indicating that they've decided to play your content. And if you have a support, it's similar to the idea of someone saying, hey, I really like what you're doing. I can't prove that it's going on the air, but this is me saying we're going to put it on the air, because we don't have that tracking ability quite yet to prove what was downloaded to what gets played on the air, because there's a disconnect. But that information will help you as a host to determine who it is that's reaching out or wanting to, use your content. And then if I wanted to, I could simply search for CHES and Aaron Radio, and we'll find there's Aaron's radio station there. And the contact information is quite easy to be able to say, hey, I saw you downloaded my show, Jay. Are you putting it on your schedule? And, there's their schedule list. And you can sort of see what some of the opportunities are for people to get to participate on there. I can see a few that are syndicated already on CHES as an example. So that's the Earshot distro system updated for adding new content when you're a program or a public service announcement, and for searching for radio shows and so on. Our plan is to have this system fully operational and running as of tomorrow, asking radio shows who are uploading their content and for people who are downloading to start using this as of July 1st. We will have the month of July. We're going to recommend you upload to Earshot Distro and the Community Radio Exchange. And then starting in August, you've transitioned away from Earshot, from the Community Radio Exchange, and you're fully working here on Distro. Earshot Distro will remain active as we go forward with this process. The Community Radio Exchange will be open for people to download from for the rest of 2022. But we are not servicing it anymore. And I don't believe at this time there's a possibility of back catalog migrating over. So it may just be left as a repository for radio shows for you to access. But we know that the website itself and the security and the data around it are quite old, and it's running out of ability to upload it. A couple questions in the chat. What about log files for those uploaded shows? So as noted, there is a space for you to put that information in the system. So when you're at the programs button and you're on your shows button, if I'm doing this show here, you'll note that there's an opportunity right here for you to put your track listing. So you can create a link to it or drop that information in as you wish.
Barry, can you show us that we're seeing you versus your screen?
Sorry, yeah. And of course, you're probably hearing the garbage trucks outside smashing away. So if I go back to where it says programs and I click on shows, I have the ability to edit one of the shows that I've uploaded. Here's the Drink Collab intro, and here is where I can add my show track listing, right? One interview with, two song by, etc.
But
we are,
if I may, Barry, you can't attach a PDF like I have in the past then.
so we're trying to get that reset up so that you can do that. We have the functionality for the music side of things. It's on one of our lists to do that for uploading to attach a PDF or something else with the track list. And we're hoping that's going to be implemented in the next couple of days.
Okay, that's easy to do. I can just cut and paste anyway in text if I have to.
It's probably easier to do that cut and paste as well, but also if you just provide a Google link or something else of that nature, that would be helpful as we go along. We're still trying to get some minor small changes adopted as we go forward here, but that is noted, and we hope to be able to have that up and running in the next little while.
I wonder if it can also be where it says track list, if that can actually be called log, simply because a track list is not a log.
Sure. We'll put a note down for that and try to make those changes as well. Yeah. Okay, so just going back to the chat. Yeah, that's there. Was there anything else that we're missing that we haven't chatted about here, or that there's some questions around?
I have one, Barry, if I may. Me being an independent programmer, I assume I sign up for like the independent side of things for Distro.
Yeah. So what will happen is if you're at Earshot Distro, earshot-distro.ca, and I'll share my screen again so you can see that. So if you're at earshot-distro-ca, .ca, sorry. Click on the sign up button. And then when you're on the sign up button, click here where it says independent programmer sign up. And if you click this button, it's going to ask you to fill out this form. You know, what am I looking to do? Download music, upload your name, all that information goes into here. And what will happen is Eloisa will create an account under the NCRA. So you'll be listed as NCRA dash and then your show information. And as I was logged in, again, this account is called Amplified Radio, because that was the radio show I used to do syndication with. However, you can see it's different than the organizational settings here. So you'll be listed as an NCRA property or under that administration, but you'll have your full separate independent information. And if people upload or download from your show, they'll be able to directly contact you.
Oh, cool. How many stations are coming online with this? I assume pretty much everybody.
We have been trying to get as many stations as possible. Right now, there are 90 of the 120 NCRA member stations that have accounts. We do not have the ability for the state to manage the station, whether they use the account or not. Knowing that the community radio exchange is shifting over and integrating into the system, with that fact, we're pretty sure that we're going to see the usage go up again, because there's around 40 to 50 syndicated radio shows each week on the community radio exchange. And our hope is that those shows will continue to be syndicated in Earshot Distro, and the people who are using that system migrate over here.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be migrating over. Undeniably, it's an important tool that we use here. I mean, I have other platforms I deal with, including my own website, and I'm still going to be here, and that's why I'm in this Zoom call. I'm very pleased to know all this.
Does anybody else have any other questions or thoughts they'd like to bring up? And as we said, we're actively trying to do some minor updates. We've noticed one or two small little bits and things here and there that we've made requests for. But we will be posting out, if not tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest, documentation to the radio stations on how to access your account, how to give access to programmers, and where those other support documentation is to those programmers, what we've just kind of gone over, plus the handbook, plus a copy of this recording. Megan, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm assuming it's under the help section, but I was just wanting to say, like, if we find any issues or like little glitches with the website, is there a name or email or phone number that we can reach out and let you guys know?
Yep. So it is listed right here under the help section. And again, we'll have a full document that's available. Some of these little steps, there's some support documentation there. There's also an error reporting and feedback option on the website that will pop up information with us. And you simply fill out the little log that's below here, send that to us. That allows us to directly respond to any of those concerns that you have, and or if you end up finding something that's wrong or wish to make a change, Eloisa, who gets all that information, will then respond to you within a couple business days. So there's that, or you could simply email eloisa@mcra.ca.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, Barry, Bob at CGMP.
Go ahead, Bob, and then Dinah after.
Yeah, I think you covered this already, but as far as the migration of syndicated shows coming over, what do you have an approximate number of shows that are on Earshot right now that are leaving the NCRA radio exchange?
Our hope is that the entire batch of everything from the community radio exchange is moving over.
Okay, I guess they have to go. I guess they have to go somewhere, obviously. The only other question I had was concerning, and you may not be able to answer this, and I'm not too much of a techie myself, but at the moment we write scripts for our automation server to go to the NCRA and automatically grab these files at certain times when they are available. I suppose that would hold true with the with this platform as well.
So yes, as was noted earlier, if you find the shows that you're looking for, the shows themselves will have an RSS feed.
Oh, nice, okay.
So when I found a show, so this is the list of shows that are currently in the system. On the right-hand side, beside the number of episodes, there's an RSS feed. And if you click that RSS feed, that's the documentation that you'll be able to put into your software, and you'll never have to log into Earshot Distro as long as you've got that RSS feed connected into your download program, whatever you have.
Perfect, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Dinah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I guess my question is following up on this RSS feed thing, because I don't like, how do you subscribe? We download directly from Earshot or sorry, the exchange directly. We don't have a special program that downloads. We just download directly from your website. So how do we subscribe?
So you currently, for every show, you log into Earshot Distro, you find the show, you click the download, and the MP3 shows up. Is that correct?
Yep.
So you can still do that through Earshot Distro. That's not a problem. That's all set up and arranged. If you wish to create an RSS feed downloader, there's a handful of programs that are built into, or solutions that are already built into whatever music service you're using. So if you use iMedia Touch or Sam Broadcaster or Radio Player One, most of those will have an RSS feed option, and or you can find a separate RSS feed downloader. They're not too difficult to do. And all you'll do is you'll right click on the RSS feed link here, copy the link address, and then paste it into that software program. And it should automatically download everything that's currently attached to that RSS feed. And then as that RSS feed gets updated, your software will get updated and it will download the new one.
Okay, I understand. We have Sam Broadcaster. I'll talk to our music director and see if we can make that work. That seems easy and simple.
Hopefully, yeah, exactly. Does anyone else have any other questions at this time? Not seeing any. I will stop the recording. Thank you very much for your time here. And again, earshot-distro.ca is the website for more information under the support and help section. Eloisa@ncra.ca is going to be the one who can help you out with any other concerns. Thank you.
Before we go, how are you distributing this video? The video
So
that you took?
this video will be uploaded to earshot-distro.ca under the broadcast support section.
Okay.
And it'll be on YouTube, and you'll be able to go back and watch it at any time. Thanks everyone.
Thanks very much, Barry. Thank you.